Hello and welcome to Rose Ed, the show that's more unpredictable than Matt Letizier's Twitter account. And we're back with a revamped show for a brand new season, but it's good to know that football is just as bonkers as ever. As Leo Messi finds himself being chased around Florida supermarkets, Manchester United have the creepiest kit launch ever, and Kylian Mbappe is offered approximately half of the NHS's annual operating budget to play a season of football. Now, remember, you can get in touch at Rose Ed Pod, and we are going to be live on Instagram during the new season. We're going to try loads of stuff out. And basically, we're going to do our shows live and put the podcast out and all that kind of good stuff. So do remember to keep watching out. We're going to be doing a show every week, and say hello if you're watching. I'm joined by Simon Harkness. You all right, mate?
Hello, mate. Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, good. Bit of a dog-related delay at the start of today's record. Where is she? It's been a rough couple of weeks for old Bridget. I've moved house.
Yes, yeah.
As you can see, because I'm now no longer in the kitchen. I have a whole room in which to do podcasty type stuff.
Can I just give everyone an insight into what Joe has in his special office room?
yeah, go for it, mate.
So I can see 3 bits of memorabilia. One is
so sad, isn't it? I positioned them not to enjoy them myself in the room. I set the camera up and wanted to see how they looked.
Well, it's good. You've got a White Hart Lane little placard on the back of the door.
Yep.
You have a Spurs, I'm going to say 1990?
1984 UEFA Cup winners.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Not an original. I'm not that old.
Yeah. Is that the last trophy as well?
Oh, here he comes.
I support Newcastle. I do not like to stand on. And also, I think it was my favourite bit. You've got Oasis. Definitely, maybe.
Oasis. Yeah, Oasis. Yeah. Yeah, they definitely maybe album cover. And
yeah, it's fantastic.
See that?
Is that a gold medal?
It's a gold. No, it's a golden snitch.
Oh, perfect.
So there you go. Most of the things I like, all in one room. Yeah. So there you go, mate.
On that vibe, give me 2 secs. Can you tell we didn't plan any of this? Got Dumbledore's wand.
Oh my! What, the Elder Wand?
The Elder Wand.
Oh wow! There we go. Well, mate, the golden snitch I have, it's a bit battered actually because it got dropped during the moves. It's got a few dents in it, which is nice metaphor because that's actually was part of my proposal when I proposed to my fiance.
Oh, really?
I put a little note in that. Yeah. So.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's so cute.
So there you go. So it's no wonder that she said yes to a cool suave player like yours truly.
I can tell you this wasn't involved in any... mainly sex, to be honest. That's where we find
that is not what Ollivander sold you that for. That is definitely Expelliarmus, etc.
Superb.
How are you, mate? You looking? You missing Premier League football? No, it says his face.
Can I be honest? No, I'm not. I'm not. I love football and I love Newcastle. It's just been really nice. I think last season, from a Newcastle fan's perspective, it felt amazing. Everything was going brilliantly. I can't remember a season like it. We had such a great core group of players who've been there from like Ashley's era to Steve Bruce's era. Like Joe Linton is now in the Champions League. Did you ever think that would happen? What an amazing, beautiful season. And it felt kind of a bit more normal with like we retained the same sponsor. And this season, whilst I'm excited to see Newcastle United in the Champions League, just little things like, the Saudi sponsor on the top. I'm not going to buy it because I'm still not really on board with every aspect of the takeover. So I am really looking forward to it, and I am missing football. But I just think last season's going to be so hard to beat from a Newcastle fan's perspective.
Well, Newcastle fans haven't changed though. I shared a tweet with you.
I know what you're referencing.
There's a tweet from a guy called Dylan. Who said, just wondering if there's any American channels that are showing the game at 7 p.m. instead of midnight so I can watch the game. So what Dylan is basically asking for is a time machine so that he's not really understood that in different places the time is different. Oh,
sorry, Dylan. You've had a mare there. It was very funny, man.
What do you mean it's on at different times in America, mate? Should we talk about Saudi stuff? Because the big story this week, obviously... Kylian Mbappe So it's about 240 million euros
Yeah.
that PSG have been offered to get Mbappe to. Oh my god, I can't remember the name of the club. Al Hilal.
Al Hilal, yeah.
Al Hilal.
Is that the one that's managed by Gerrard?
I don't know. Quickly Googles. 1
Quickly.
second.
I'll play some elevator music.
No, the manager is Jorge Jesus,
Oh, yeah, love him. Yeah.
who I'm not. I'm not a good name. Great football manager name. But so basically that's the deal, to get him to Saudi Arabia for a year, and they're still saying you can leave at the end of it on a free and go to Real Madrid. So basically, it's nearly 300 million euros to get him for a year. Would you like to hear a breakdown of his contract for that year?
It's going to make me so angry, isn't it? But yes.
So he will be earning 22 euros a second, 1,332 euros a minute, 79,900 an hour, 1.9 million euros a day,
Wow.
13.3 million euros a week. That's 58.33 million euros a month. And I don't need to tell you, Simon, that makes it 700 million euros for 1 year of football. What's this? What is all of this?
Jesus Christ. I mean, yeah, but you hear the word obscene a lot when it comes to football. But that is obscene. I mean, from the Saudis, I totally get it. I mean, it's a little bit short-sighted from them to be like, you can leave at the end of the year, because it's like you've just lost the biggest asset that if you're willing to pay someone that much money, you kind of want to build something around them. So from the Saudis' perspective, I get it. It's like we will test your resolve with an insane amount of money. All you have to do is 1 year, and then you can go to Real Madrid if you want. I don't really see the end goal, because I personally don't think Mbappe is big enough to get people watching the Saudis, like the Saudi league. He doesn't really get people tuning into the French league. When was the last time you watched
That's
a
a good
PSG
point.
game?
He's playing there with generally a significantly higher quality of player across the division.
Exactly. Yeah,
and we're still not watching that.
yeah.
With
so
Messi,
true.
That's
with Messi
so
as
true.
well. Like,
Messi, Mbappe, and Neymar were playing together.
Yeah,
and I didn't watch a second of Liga last year.
Exactly. So, yeah. I mean, I would be more inclined to watch him over there than Jordan Henderson. I'll be totally honest. So,
Well, you said it's almost more shocking that Jordan Henderson is on £700,000 a week.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, from Mbappe's perspective, you'd be mad not to, especially if you can go after a year. I think it'll be a very interesting look into his psyche. To be honest, I think it'll be interesting to see what he values, because if he turns this down, then fair fucking play to him.
Well, here's the moral conundrum, because that is obviously an amount of money that, already him and the next 5 generations of his family never have to work.
Yeah.
They are going to be rich people, and that is setting them up for life, and that money can go lots of places and do lots of good. I must admit, I don't know if he does that or not. But this kind of money, I suppose, he's going to essentially be on his way to being a billionaire.
Yeah.
In his mid-20s. But then if you're a footballer, particularly a footballer like him, I think, with explosive pace, which is a big aspect of his game. I mean, obviously Messi had that and then changed as he got older as well. But do you want to waste, if you've only got, best case scenario, 10 to 15 years of this incredible career, and your legacy will be leaving people with these astonishing memories, which I would say is more important than financial gain. Do you want to waste even a year of that scoring 8 goals a game in Saudi Arabia? It's the equivalent of him. I don't know what the quality of the league is. I know it's certainly not the quality of the European Big Five. I'd say it's the equivalent of him going to League One.
Yeah.
For example. I mean, I just think, why would you waste a year of that career when you've already got more money than you'll ever need?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I've always felt when people sack off a competitive league for somewhere like the MLS when they're like 34. I always think, fair play, you go get that bag, you deserve it. Like, yeah, you can't get relegated. Winning it means nothing, but it's a new culture, it's a new experience, and let's be honest, you're going to get paid way more money than you will be if you're like kicking it about in the Premier League.
Well, also it's kind of like there's an element of like, oh yeah, and I get a lovely beachfront property in
in Malibu,
in Malibu or
yeah,
in Miami for a couple of years. Fantastic. Yeah,
that's also at the end of your career, right? Why would you? Well, you go for money. That's literally it, isn't it? I mean, maybe I think it's fair to say that me and you are neither like. I don't think we're obsessed with chasing financial like gains.
I just want enough that it doesn't stress me out.
Yeah,
yeah. I don't want to worry. I basically don't want to worry about bills.
Yeah, literally.
That's it.
Yeah.
I want to be like, oh, that's okay. And apart from that, I'm just quite happy doing little silly podcasts and stuff.
Especially now you're up north, you can,
Lord at Manor up here, mate. Honestly, mate, get yourself down to Coupland's sandwich shop. You can get 2 sandwiches, 2 sausage rolls, 2 drinks, and I got a banoffee pie for 1, and it was £9.50.
That is ridiculous. I bet it was amazing sandwiches as well.
Fantastic, mate. And I ate the banoffee pie in the car.
And you cried.
Oh, mate. Yeah, I was so happy. I'm going to go back today.
That is mad, though, because that would cost about 32 quid, like in London.
Well, exactly. This is it. So, Kylian Mbappe, he doesn't need to shop at Coupland's.
So what we're saying is where you're currently located is the equivalent. You've done an Mbappe. You've gone. You're feeling more financial freedom.
Yeah,
and you're in the peak of your career. This is great.
Very much the Kylian Mbappe of the Yorkshire Nottinghamshire border. But yeah, it's I don't know. I suppose what Al Hilal are thinking and the Saudi Sovereign Wealth Fund are thinking more is we just want to show you all that we can get probably the highest profile player in the world to come to our league, even if it's just for a year. It's like, we told you that we're serious. And the fact that they want to spend best part of 300 million euros and they're going to let him go after a year, and PSG have also given him permission to talk to them, so he is talking to them. But they basically saying we can get him here for a year? That's saying like we're serious players, but also saying that money is no object.
Yeah,
because that means they could theoretically get every good player in the world, because there's a bottomless fund.
Yeah,
of money here.
I always love the idea of them talking to Kylian Mbappe. I imagine those talks will go quite well. Like, this is what we're prepared to pay you, and he just goes, yes.
There's a really fun. Do you ever listen to the Sky Sports Transfer Talk podcast?
Yes. Yeah.
I bet you do, because it's hosted by that Geordie guy, isn't it? Who literally, there's a 20-minute segment every week about Newcastle. Like, fair enough.
Of course.
Yeah. But they always say on there, you go, oh, such and such a Saudi club have bid for this XYZ player. Personal terms aren't believed to be an issue. Yeah. Of course they're fucking not.
No.
That's like saying like, oh, I don't know, the Retford Gazette have offered me 10 million quid a year to go and do their weekly news podcast. You go, personal terms are not believed to be an issue for Forrester.
Yeah, I think we might be able to get this signed off fairly quickly. But
the best part of this story, though, mate. Sorry, this is just flashed up here. There are a number of Premier League clubs who are interested in taking Mbappe on a season-long loan, because he basically has said PSG want him out the club. He's been put up for sale. He said he's happy to see out the remaining year of his contract, just sat on the bench.
They need money for him as well.
Spurs have registered their interest. Is that the most ridiculous thing in the whole story?
That is incredible.
Yeah. I mean, it's almost like we don't understand money, because we don't have enough of that.
But, like, Daniel Levy is not the man you want negotiating that deal.
No.
At all. Because, like, Kylian will be like, so I've been offered 700 million euros a year. What have you got, Spurs? And Daniel Levy will be like, well, we'll put you as the 3rd highest earner at the club.
Yeah.
We'll probably give you some sort of ambassador role at the end.
We can give you and 3 friends one Hotspur bronze memberships. We can't give you silver or gold because don't take the piss. But like,
there's an Odeon membership card in there for you, Kylian.
You'll get a birthday card every year on your birthday, signed by the club captain and Chirpy the Cockerel, which is what happens when you're a Spurs member.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's really sweet.
They've cut budgets in recent years, though, because it used to be signed by the whole squad. Now it's just Harry Kane. So,
and it's not him, is it? Let's be honest.
No,
it's not him.
It's printed.
Yeah.
It's printed. But I wonder, with this whole Saudi thing, right, are we kind of in danger of being football snobs? Are we saying you're not part of the existing football framework and inner circle, so we dismiss your league out of hand?
I mean, from the Saudis' perspective, the only thing they can do to build a league is spend like a bottomless pit of money at it. It's kind of what the MLS did when they signed Beckham.
Yeah.
But again, the MLS it's not a respectable league, is it? I don't mean any disrespect there, but
well, you literally just said they're not respectable.
The word respect was the wrong word to use. I mean, I don't know enough about Saudi pyramid or league or what the idea of a football league in Saudi Arabia looks like. Using the MLS as an example, basically, if you've got enough money, you can create a team, and you're going to be guaranteed a certain amount of revenue every year because you can't get relegated. That's not sport, is it? That's just a big fun game every week.
That's a kickabout.
It is. It's a kickabout.
Yeah.
I mean, like the atmosphere, I imagine, is fantastic, and the environment for football would be incredible. But so if the Saudis are going down the MLS route, I don't think it'll make a blind bit of difference. I think, but if the Saudis are going if they're trying to build up a model such as the Premier League, then I think there's every chance that it could become a success, and football snobbery may no longer be a thing. I think what will be interesting is what happens when, they start to tout the idea of being entered into the Champions League, because that's obviously where the money is. And I think UEFA may be one of the most corrupt businesses in the world. And if people are open to corruption, they're usually open to quite a lot of money. Yeah. So I think that could be really the only way which could give it some respect to its name, I suppose. I mean, realistically, are you going to watch the Saudi League, though?
No. No, I'm not.
No, I'm not either.
But, is there... I suppose I kind of have moral objections to the money and also to the politics of the regime, which I think makes a difference. You're not morally compromised when you watch La Liga or the Bundesliga. So that kind of, and even kind of Serie A obviously has quite a lot of problems with homophobia and racism, and it makes me a lot less inclined to watch football.
Yeah, of course.
In that league. And I kind of think, right, if you've got £300 million, €300 million for a year for Kylian Mbappe, plus all the rest, plus the wages that you spread around and whatever, let's say for argument's sake, it's been 500 million so far, which has been a lot more than. Why doesn't that money go into investing in grassroots and infrastructure and bringing through players and coaches in the Middle East? And then you will genuinely have a long-term plan which could theoretically compete with European leagues. Buying a handful of players, admittedly very good players and seasoned internationals, say you buy 20 of them come to the league every year, they all then retire in 3 or 4 years, and you've got to do it all again. That's not a sustainable model.
No, not
football doesn't exist in this country, in Spain and in France and Italy and whatever, because at the end of the 19th century, everybody went out and threw all the money at all the most expensive players because it didn't exist. But it's because people went out and basically everybody got together and played, and all the best players came through and they began to be coached. And it was built up as a meritocracy and as something where every town had a club, and that's it. And an actual football pyramid exists. And I just think if they want to build a sustainable model of a good football league, then I think the top-down approach is the wrong way to do it.
Yeah,
You should
totally.
be putting all this money into getting 10-year-olds better coached, not giving Kylian Mbappe 700 million euros a year. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
That is such a good point. And what you said about like the towns, you're so right. Like it's just a part of our, it's always been a part of our culture for about 200 years. Like that's where it's born, and obviously it's been turned into this phenomenally successful, I don't want to say franchise, but it kind of is. It's a business essentially. And you're so right. Like spending 700 grand a week on Jordan Henderson probably isn't the thing. But also, like, the reason why the Premier League can afford all this money is because of the TV deals.
Yeah.
Now, this is part of a bigger picture, but like, here's my thinking with it. Like,
is this Simon's hot take?
Yeah. Get ready. But the Premier League can afford to spend all this money, and it's the richest league in the world because of the amazing TV deals, right? The Saudis aren't going to get that. They're just not. Even if Mbappe goes, they're not going to get that. So you're already losing out on a huge amount of revenue when it comes to TV. Also, with the way the Saudis have pirated various leagues across the world, do you think the Germans are going to be like, we'll pay to watch Saudi league?
Yeah.
So that's just one example.
I know what they did to us, Klaus, but you have to pay. It's 18 euros. I don't want to break the rules.
That's a beautiful impression.
Thank you.
I was really hoping you bring it up.
I'm a quarter German, so I'm allowed. That's the rules.
But I think in terms of the bigger picture, which is where I'm going to go into a bit of a rant about the Premier League, like, even the way the Premier League is monetized and broadcast is so outdated. How many apps do you pay for in terms of streaming? Do you pay for Netflix? Do you pay for Disney Plus? Do you pay for Paramount Plus? Do you pay, like, all these different streaming services? There has to come a point very soon where the Premier League just goes, thanks for your £1 billion Sky and BT, but we've done the maths, and if we charge people just £12 a month in the UK alone, who are going to set up a Premier League streaming service account with us, where we have all the rights, we're going to get just as much, probably more money, and that's just in the UK. Think of all the people who watch the Premier League around the world. Millions and millions, hundreds of millions of people. If they all pay a certain amount of money, all that money is going into the Premier League. They don't even need to worry about the Sky or BT giving them massive contracts. I think if the Saudis implemented something like that, maybe that would be the best way for them to establish it, rather than just sort of spending the money they're doing now. But I'd be honest, if they set up some sort of streaming device which led the way to show the Premier League on what they should be doing, and it costs £5 a month, I probably would certainly try it.
If you could bin off all the other subscriptions and, oh God, what's my password? Oh, bloody, I've got to scan the QR code. And if it was just bang, that's on the app, ping it on the telly, done, everything done. And it was all just directly done through that. Then yeah.
You would, right? For like £5 a month, just to see what the Saudi League is like. That's how I think they should be doing it. And it also gives the Premier League a massive headache of being like, well, you've seen how many viewers Netflix get, and you don't like go through Sky to watch Netflix. So like,
why don't we just do it ourselves?
Yeah. Wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You'd make so much more money.
Well, Simon, I know you've got to go, so we'll leave listeners to ponder that thorny moral conundrum at RoseEdPod if you want to get involved. But I did just have one last question for you.
Yeah.
700 million euros a year.
Yeah.
What's the worst thing you would do for that money? I've got a theoretical for you.
Okay. Yeah.
Would you, right, have sex with
there we go,
Mike Ashley?
The 700 million. Yeah, I fucking would. And like, I'd dominate him and make him feel awful about all the shitty things he did as a Newcastle fan. I'd take great pride and pleasure in doing that.
Would you have sex with Mike Ashley and Steve Bruce at the same time?
Brucey couldn't handle me. I think oh no, it's just, I thought we agreed on going out for dinner first, and
I thought it was fingering only, Simon. So have we found your limit? So for 700 million euros, can we go on record and say Simon Harkness would have sex with Mike Ashley, but you wouldn't have a threesome with Mike Ashley and Steve Bruce?
Yeah, I think that's probably my limit. Yeah, I think we found. What would you do? 700 million.
I'd have sex with every chairman and manager in the Premier League. I mean, like, I could pay for the therapy afterwards.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, there's some that I'd enjoy. Roberto De Zerbi, fine. Roy, not so much. But it's.
I feel like Eddie Howe would be a very generous lover. I feel like very caring, understanding.
Who would you be most? I think I'd be most worried about potentially Big Ange, because he does look a bit like a debt collector, doesn't he? Like, he's a big scary bastard. Like, permanent. He's one of those men that shaves at 9 a.m. and he's got 5 o'clock shadow by 9:05.
Oh,
like,
big time.
He's a dangerous man.
And Aussies are brutal as well. So yeah, that's a good shout. Pep, I think, would just blow your mind with various different positions.
Bottle of Rioja, some like lovely kind of like coconut candles lit. Jurgen Klopp, what? Sex swing, paddles, the lot.
Very high energy. Who would you not like to be fucked by as a manager?
That is a long list.
De Zerbi would be just chaos, I reckon, energetic. Potter would be a bit sort of like just a bit limp. Do you know what I mean?
I don't think I'd like Unai Emery.
He'd make you watch it back.
But that's like, I think this. I never thought I'd say this. I think I'd want Unai Emery to do me from behind, because I don't think I could look at his face. Imagine like with his hair hanging down and like tickling your. Like,
can we clip that?
Yeah. Oh wow.
Are we able to keep all of that in?
Yeah. That's staying in.
Great.
That's staying in. Much like Unai Emery. Right. Well, mate, thank you very much for joining us. It's been a pleasure.
Likewise, man. I've loved that. It was fun.
Yeah, we'll hopefully see more of you, because we're going to be doing it every week.
Yeah. Just let me know. It's been really fun.
Awesome, mate. Well, say hello to Margot Robbie for me. And we'll see you very soon. And don't forget, you can get in touch on Rosehead Pod, and we'll see you next time.